So far, of the like 2 Age of the Primes figures that I've reviewed, both have been very good. So far of the Transformers Armada revival, all have been good, though almost all of them have also had some degree of flaw to them. Will Age of the Primes Armada Red Alert be the same? No, it's better. But first, your likes! Please give, and maybe subscribe. This is extremely good, probably the most flawless of the new Unicron Trilogy figures. It manages to be an improvement on the original in basically every way, and it still manages to keep some of the gimmicks. I don't think that there's a single person who can complain about the look of this thing any more than just, that's a pretty big backpack, and that's accurate to the show, so what are you even on about? I'm not even gonna make you wait to the end for it. This is obviously a micro masterpiece, and it leaves me with a serious problem because, you know me, I am really stumped on what to say when I'm not complaining. Hey, look everyone, it's Cliffjumper! Honestly, it's been way too long since I've done that. But yeah, I mean, what do I say here? This is basically one-to-one with the show model. I don't see how you could do a masterpiece of this and really make it look any amount more like the character. And while this design may not be for everyone, I think it's pretty cool. Well, maybe not so much cool as fun. Like, I like Robot Man. I like squares. This is a relatively square Robot Man. Though, his knobbly legs and arms makes me think he got the plague, or maybe some botched plastic surgery. I am stunned and gratified that they didn't retool Dennis Nedry to make this thing, as they share a lot of similarities. You know Hasbro was tempted. Seriously, I am amazed they gave this thing all of the love and attention they did. Basically, everything is perfect. Even the unsightly kibble is accurate, which I think the worst part of that is these flaps on the legs. I both love and hate these. On the one hand, they're just there. They're not part of anything. It's like he's just glued some cardboard onto his knees. On the other hand, he'd look kind of plain without them, and I do actually hate it when Transformers look like they don't transform. I mean, sure, it's impressive when they do that, but I think that the cool part of Transformers is the fact that they, transform. So kibble that reminds you of the alt mode only enhances the cool factor for me. If this didn't have those, this would look like Shockwave pretending to be a Sentai hero who's also in the nude. You tell me I'm wrong. Only one man in all of Transformers has tits this big, and he too has a punch dildo. Unfortunately, unlike the announcement, this doesn't come with an alternate hand, so you are stuck with this no matter what. They included a different version of basically the exact same thing, but not a second fist. Would anyone really have rebelled if this guy couldn't dual-wield punch dildos? Sculpting on Red Alert is appropriately busy, given the way that the show model looked diseased. And can I say that the color scheme rocks? Everything is so vibrant and punchy with this dude. He screams hero, even if in the show he was kind of a stiff stick in the mud who got remarkably little screen time for being one of the 3 starting Autobots. Seriously, he is borderline Sir not appearing in this film. The name Red Alert doesn't fit him so much, but Wallflower sure would have. Also, big ups on making the door windows inserts. That's the durable way to do it. Though his windshield wasn't handled like that, it's not a big problem. They did make this part pretty thick, and it's not very much strain from the transformation, so I think this should hold up just fine. Honestly, the QC on this guy in general is great. I'd say that the elbows and shoulders are a little too tight, but it doesn't feel like you're damaging them. It's just a bit annoying to move those parts is all. And everything else handles like a dream. He also has his backpack gun gimmick, where while this doesn't have Minicon integration anymore, this part can flip out and turn into his shoulder cannon, or you can take that part off and put it into his hand. Unfortunately, this leads to probably the biggest flaw with this thing. It can't store with any of its tips in place. Those get stored separately in these kind of clever locations in the leg flaps. I did figure this part out without having to use the directions, but I checked, and yes, this is where they are supposed to go. This is fun, even if it's not spring-loaded, though what is this slit right here for? That's such a strange aspect of this. Do not lose this part, or the alt mode will be incomplete without it. There are other gimmicks that this doesn't have, but is anyone really sad that his, I don't know, hip-mounted targeting system wasn't included, or that his titty explosion armor isn't there? And this brings me to the fun fact that I recently went through a big box that was in my parents' attic of old schoolwork, my childhood art, and different kind of paper articles of mine. And doing that, I found this. It's a little booklet that came with every Armada figure. It's like a product catalog that shows off every figure that they were selling at the time, and it even has this little comic in the back. That's right, back in the day, not only did they give us instructions worth half a damn, but they even had money in the budget for even more paper. So unlike 86 Scrapper, you don't have to buy a completely different figure to get part of the instructions, because when Hasbro was really fucking us, there is nothing too dirty for them. They are filthy, filthy little hogs. Before anyone asks, yes, it was weird reading through stuff I wrote as a kid and being like, man, it's not just like a movie or TV thing. Little kids really don't know how to spell, but they try to so hard anyways. Here's some choice excerpts of mine. Electana Rupt. Soldier create soldier. That's supposed to be soldier. I literally just figured that out. Soldier created for Evle, but good. I think it's pretty obvious that that part was supposed to be soldier created for evil, but good. I swear this is not a parody or a joke. I also started a journal at some point. It is 1 page long. Yeah, that's about how long any journal should be. Day 1. The 1 is backwards. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. We're going to the zoo. I'm so happy. It is grit. First Wilden Perkna the zoo. Unintelligible scribbles. Then I think 8 a.m., but it runs off the page. We have had a grat time and mu rus hauer to. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Some herdgeiks I found. A bunch of unintelligible scribbles. Oh, hieroglyphics. It's supposed to be hieroglyphics. Jake is me. Okay, little man, indeed you are. Why did you think that was the appropriate way to end the only page of a journal you've ever kept? What, were you a changeling doing a really bad job impersonating me? That was completely inconsequential to the review. I hope you all enjoyed it immensely. Now, the obvious, completely normal transition from there is to talk about the head. Oh yeah, this video is going places. Once more, this is basically perfect. It rocks. Really looks like a Power Rangers helmet, which I assume must have been intentional. This must have been what they were going for, right? There is no way that you do the sullen lips sticking out of the fully covered helmet with a visor and not try to do Super Sentai. The only issue I have with this is, say it with me, light piping fucking sucks. You'd think that with such a big light collector on the back of the head and such a straight through broad eye slit, not trying to split it 2 directions, that this would work better. Maybe in my light box this will look really good. I can tell you that IRL, in normal conditions, you need to shove his head up a light bulb's ass to get this thing to glow with any more life than a particularly desiccated drowning victim. But the good news is, this is such a prominent feature of his face that even though the light piping does jack shit, it still reads as having color. So this is a really good head and a really good robot mode. I know that some people are going to decry even one gimmick going missing from this, but that's fully unreasonable at this point. They just don't do gimmicks anymore, so having even one is actually kind of a big deal. This has the shoulder cannon, even if it's not spring-loaded anymore. This has cool, unique accessory storage. It's fully expected that that stuff is gone at this point, and it's no skin off my back. It looks great, it feels great, it nails the look from the show. I don't anticipate more, I don't really want more. Gimmicks are fun, but I'd rather have a figure of this quality. Even if this is like twice the cost of the original and at like half the size, this still feels worth it, unlike 86 Scrapper. Now for the accessories, you've already seen all of those, because this is kind of a weird review for me. So let's just skip to the articulation. Needless to say, they are pretty good. A good cool gun and an arrangement to punch dildos and nipple clamps. Look at the gimp mask he's wearing. This dude's a freak. He also might have a little bit of RoboCop energy. Oh yeah, look at that face. That dude's a freak too. What is even the state my brain is while writing this one? Articulation is fantastic. Head's got some up and down and a full rotation. He's got some giving him that action. Shoulders can pull a 90 and can be faked for all of the up that you need. Good backwards butterflies, and you can sheath them for more. Maximum elbows. Wrist swivel. He does in fact have a waist swivel, which I thought he wouldn't. Hips are unimpeded forwards and to the sides, but you have to untransform the backpack to get any reverse at all. Normal 90 knees with a second weird set of knees far below those, letting the legs get the most horrible maximum ever. And feet with a massive toe up, a solid toe down, and a great rocker. The heel is too loose to count for anything here though. So yeah, this is great. He does way more than the average in basically every joint. I think the only thing that's normal here is the fact that he has a wrist swivel. Everything else is way better than average, letting him pull pretty much any pose that you could want, though the knees are very odd. Transformation is really good, marred only by the fact that there are some places where it's really hard to get your fingernail in to split things apart. Just how tightly everything holds together, and the fact that you have to parts form the punch dildo, because that too can't go where it's supposed to, even though that should have been pretty easy to facilitate. It doesn't help that there's not too much of a good place to put it. I just peg it onto the top of the engine like it's a snorkel or something. Amazingly, it doesn't fit in the front of the light bar. It wants to angle up. I don't know why you wouldn't cut the geometry for this. Otherwise, this is a pretty straightforward, though still clever conversion. However, remember to fold the shins all the way up before you rotate the leg panels or the accessories will fall out. This is pretty fast, it's pretty fun, and once again, it winds up with an almost perfect looking mode. This won't at all sit next to your realistic looking vehicles. It's definitely not one. This looks like if the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 hit the gym and then decided to go camping. Once again, this is basically perfect for what it wants to be though. The worst part is the back windows aren't painted at all, so they look really cheapy, but otherwise this has plenty of detail. The stripe down the side, the gray trim, the bumper is slathered in paint, the 3 auto badges, 2 of which are even more fancy than normal, and all of the clear plastic really livens this thing up too. It rolls okay, but there is some roughness in there that keeps this from going all that far. And the roof gun still works. You always want to see that your search and rescue vehicle is strapped. How else will you know that it can protect you? Again, don't lose this part unless you want a rain gutter to funnel some crisp, refreshing water right down the back of the driver's neck. Yeah, this is an excellent alt mode. It's basically everything a fan of the show could want, from the colors to the quality to the cohesiveness. There is not a bad angle on this vehicle. I suppose the other worst thing I could say is that the tires are also not painted, but at least they aren't pegged on. It's got plenty of accessory storage. You don't even have to be a fan of the show. This is just a fun SUV mode. And again, like I said at the start, this is a flat-out micro masterpiece. It's doing basically everything as perfectly as it can be. Its accuracy is top-notch, as is the quality. They preserved at least 1, if not 2 of the gimmicks given the weapon storage. The posability is fantastic, the transformation while not doing anything super new is still quite fun, and the alt mode rocks. If you are a fan of Armada, you are going to love this. And if you aren't, I still think you'll get a great kick out of it. It's a fantastic Voyager, tons of fun. Buy one if you get the opportunity to. I don't think you'll regret it. And before we go, let's thank a channel backer. And this time it's Travis316 with RID 2001 Optimus Prime, a figure with some interesting visual similarities to this Red Alert. That was a killer toy back in the day, dude, and it still stands up pretty well. There was so much stuff that came with it and that it could do, and the core transformation was fun on its own. There was one teeny tiny problem, however. If you lost the stuff he came with, you have like 1/3 of the fire truck left over, and that's what personally I now have on my shelf. Still, this thing ruled, and I really look forward to the upcoming HasLab, if that can ever fucking come out. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.